Hello, everybody, it is Ghost, your friendly neighborhood poltergeist. Here we are at Ghostcast, the cast from beyond the grave. Let's turn down this sound a little bit, because I cannot hear myself talk or think. Oh, wow. Ha! Lagging is fun, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be looking at a Steps of War map 1v1. Since I do not have any other replays, it's going to be me versus Moonshine. It's going to be a ZVT, and as you know, I love to play Zerg. Steps of War. Gotta love it. It is a really great place for tanks. So much high ground, especially in this Terran position. Got all this to utilize, a tiny eensy weensy ramp that you can block off, especially against Zerg. That's really powerful. Speed this up a little bit, because my timer is a ticking. Alright, so, well, what you're going to see from Ghost is you're going to be seeing a lot of banshee harassment. It's a lot of fun. I don't remember this replay at all, so it's pretty much going to be just a cold analyzation, or whatever you like to call it. I'm just going to go off on a random tangent. Just so all of you know, I really hate math. Math is not my strong suit. Oh, math. And guess what the Terran is doing against a Zerg player? This is so common. Wow, Moonshine has a refinery. Looks like he's going to throw down 2 barracks, probably with a couple tech labs. See if he can pump out a marauders, which are oh so effective against roaches. Doing a little bit of scouting over here. Slow this down, just so we can actually pay attention to what's going on. Yep, so looks like Moonshine got a little bit of a look into my base, which had a spawning pool down and an extractor, which means usually a lair plus zergling speed. So we can do a lot of harassment with those speedlings. The speedlings are really good against expansions. We're doing a little bit of a conflict here, trying to save that drone that is down to a half health. Yep, there is that lair. For every Zerg player, they know that you have to get queens to win. Well, you don't have to get queens to win, but it's very helpful to your economy and your macro. And as I like to say, macro at all times, children. Normally, when it's a macro versus micro battle, macro usually wins. Moonshine's just pumping out Marines. He's probably going to try to make an early push, since I don't have that many defenses, just a couple Zerglings, plus this expansion here. So I don't have much in the way of defense. But a couple of spine crawlers going down. That's going to be a lot of fun against these Marines. Let us see what is going on with the Zerg player. Units, 25 drones versus 19 SCVs. That is really going to help in the later game. Just because economy is oh so important. StarCraft is an economic game. 3 barracks now. One going down with a reactor. I was about to say tech reactor, but that is only in the campaign, because I'm that smart. Another reactor. Looks like he is going mass marines. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw down a tech lab on one of these barracks. Barracks. I am so good with names. There's that reactor. Keep building. Those take so long to build. That's why it is always good to go for those when you are attacking against a base. You always want to go for the add-ons because they're such a bitch to remake. And he is making a tech lab, which he is probably going to get stim pack and shields, which is going to give that plus 10 life to these marines, which helps so much against Zerg. Because marines are so very good against Zerglings, it's not fair at all. And not really knowing what's going on, just throwing down an evolution chamber just to be safe, just in case there is some banshee harass. So what I would do is I would just throw down a couple of spine crawlers, spore crawlers, mixing those up too. Huh. A couple of spore crawlers up here just to defend my mineral line. And again, 33 drones to 21 SCVs. I cannot emphasize how much that will help in the late game. But Zerg is really not having much defense against these two siege tanks, which are going to be very crazy effective against those Zerglings. That area of attack is just crazy. Even more tanks pumping out. Well, one, but, you know, that is more. Zerglings, still not that much defense, but there is this spire here that will allow me to create mutalisks, corruptors, and eventually broodlords, if it is necessary. But Moonshine, seeing that, oh, let's see if he did see it. No, he does not see it. I'm guessing those Vikings are just to take out stray overlords. A lot of people don't know this. This air-to-air combat is not good against mutalisks. Not that good of damage. Only 10 damage against these mutalisks. The mutalisks have much faster rate of fire than the Vikings do. Now that I look back at this, I see all of these little larvae here, saying to myself, what am I going to do with that? I have an excess of minerals, and I'm a little bit low on Vespian gas. Spend those 300 Vespian gas and make crazy Zerglings or crazy drones, plus a couple expansions maybe. There is an expansion going down here. But since that 2,600 some mineral lead is eventually going to turn into a little bit of a weight on my shoulders, because I'm just going to try to spend it all. And turns out that you can't. It's very, very hard to spend all those minerals. Let's see what's going on with the Terran player. So many Marines. What is this? He has 28 Marines, which is buttload. This guy needs... Oh, yep, there is that shield. Next, I'm going to expect to see Stim going down, but he does not have it yet. Come on. Research. He does have the minerals. If you have the minerals, Nope. No longer he has an investment gas. What he needs to do right now, he needs to expand, because this one base play will eventually not work out for him. Even though he has this intense defense on his base, I will have mutalisks, and those siege tanks won't be able to do anything against them because they do not do ground to air. But these Marines are very, very effective against the mutalisks. Marines, mutalisks, Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs. Even more Vikings popping out just to try to take care of those mutalisks. I am so very good today. I think I just need a drink. Not of the alcoholic beverage, but of water, a good old H2O. Here I go, taking out these little add-ons, which I said earlier are oh so annoying to rebuild. Trying to take out a couple of those Marines, but in response, getting a couple of my Mutalisks taken out. But no worries. I always have a little bit more. Again, so much larva. Do not know what to do with it. I'm not a fan of that. But what should be going down is Ghost should be expanding his creep even more. Even more, yes you can do that. And that's going to help with the speed on these Zerglings. If he does make an expansion over here, he will need to get there very fast. Even though he has these Mutalisks, some ground support is useful. Very, very useful. Even more Mutalisk harass is probably going to come up. Hopefully, I would like to see these banshees come around up behind here and take out this mineral line, which is running very low. Very, very low. Yeah, down about 600 on each. Even less. 600 was the most. So he's going to be running low on minerals soon. He's going to mine himself out. He is spending all his minerals, but I am not. Regrettably, I have almost 4,000 minerals unspent. Good thing I got the roach warren down, which will help me spend some of those minerals and max out. Still a bunch of larvae. Even more mutalisks. This is a large force of mutalisks. Wow. Let's see what he's building here. Drones, which he is going to be sending to here. This little expo here. And I am supply blocked. Ooh. Oh, I missed that. What went down there? I am sorry. What happened? Send these mutalisks over here. They can chill for a while. Just waiting for those mutalisks to get there so I can move up and try to attack this base. I am probably, yep, that is the wise choice. Take out those siege tanks so that if you do move up with a bunch of, not hydralisks, roaches, move up with a bunch of roaches and zerglings, and they will not get taken out so quickly by those siege tanks, because those siege tanks have a gigantic range and uber damage against armored. Mutalisks just kind of trailing out, trying to do some harassment here. But overall, Moonshine is in a pretty good position. He has a moderately large army. Oh, there's my 14-minute mark. I should pause and do part 2. Excuse me while I stop recording. Tune into part 2.